Josh and Katie Youmans were still newlyweds when terrorists attacked the United States on September 11, 2001. The horrific events moved Josh to make a bold and brave decision.
He didn't want our kids to have to deal with this. You know, he's like, I want to fight terrorism. I don't want it on our soil, and so I'm going to go, be part of the Army. So he joined the Michigan National Guard.
Josh joined the 125th Infantry Bravo Company out of Saginaw. As a member of the Guard, Katie never thought he'd leave the country.
I never thought he'd deploy, ever. And then when he did, I was shocked.
Katie was pregnant with the couple's first child when Josh left for Iraq in August of 2005. 3 months later, while driving in a Humvee convoy near the Euphrates River, a bomb exploded.
I didn't hear from Josh, so I thought it was really weird during the day because normally I heard from him even online, only online. And I was at home, and I lived at my parents' house, actually across the street, and this was my aunt's house, and she called me and she said, there's a soldier here looking for you, and he won't give us any information. And I'm like, what? So I went flying out of the house, ran over to my aunt's, and there was a soldier that told me my husband had been injured.
Josh was airlifted to Germany and eventually to a military hospital in San Antonio, Texas.
He was burned 56% of his body. So he didn't have any, a couple of the guys had broken bones and stuff like that, but he didn't. He was ejected from the vehicle, and he ended up in a sewer ditch. And he climbed out himself with help from one of the guys. It was an IED. There were 5 guys in the Humvee. John Deering was killed instantly, and then there was Josh. I'm gonna have to go through the names. Sergeant Spence Akers, he died December 8th. Sergeant Matt Weber died April 27th, I believe, and Sergeant Drusky died July 10th. They all died one at a time.
With the support of her priest and her parish, Katie moved into a motel room in Texas for several months. She cared for her husband daily.
I usually went about 3-4 times a day, and then tried to take care of my daughter. I went to church. I actually went to Mass almost every day there. There's a chapel, and there's this great chaplain there named Father Jim, I think Schellenberg's his last name. He's still there. So I'd go to Mass all the time. I mean, that's the only way. I don't know how you get through it without faith.
Josh suffered a stroke after facial surgery, which put him into a coma. He died on March 1st, 2006, 4 months after the explosion. Just before he died, Katie was able to introduce her infant daughter to Papa for the first time.
He asked for his daughter, Kenzie. We did take her in the Monday before he died. Because he was in a burn unit, we couldn't take a newborn because she was only 7 weeks old when he was injured.
Katie is remarried and continues to dedicate countless hours honoring the memory of her first husband and all of those who have died in the defense of freedom.
The one thing families want people to know the most is we did sacrifice our loved ones, but they did it willingly. They volunteered. It's an all-volunteer military force. But at the same time, every chance we get to talk about them, every chance we get to share things about them, get together and talk, we keep them alive, and we will continue to keep them alive until our last breaths.
The Diocese is participating in the Fortnight for Freedom, June 21st through July 4th, as part of an ongoing effort to help ensure the protection of religious freedom at home and abroad.
The United States bishops have been very vocal, most recently especially, in terms of our freedoms here in this country. The Catholic Church, Catholics in general, Christians in general, have been very supportive of our country and its ideals. We might have different opinions and political views and so on, but our love for our country and our love for the freedoms of our country has always been a part of who we are.
Following the Mass, Bishop Joseph Sistone will lead a procession to Veterans Memorial Plaza at Hoyt Park. To learn more about what you can do to support religious freedom, visit the diocesan website, saginaw.org.